loves the Steelers, has been very frustrated with what they've seen, and no one more so than our former Steeler, Ryan Clark. And we've played it back for you multiple times this week. I won't play it again, but RC had, really significant criticism early this week of the Steelers, and Mike Tomlin sort of seemed to co-sign what Ryan Clark was saying. Let's get to the quarterback now, RC. You played with Big Ben. There are people who are wondering, is it time for him to be benched? What do you think?
I think it's hard to bench a legend. I think that's a very difficult thing to do. We saw that happen in New York with someone drafted in the same draft class in Eli Manning. I owe my Super Bowl ring to Ben Roethlisberger. With all that being said, time is up. It's time to move on. It's time to see what else you have in that locker room. I said at the beginning of the season, the reason that Big Ben was back had to be because Mike Tomlin and GM Kevin Colbert thought that Big Ben gave them the best opportunity to compete for a championship, that Big Ben gave them the best opportunity to win. And as long as he doesn't hurt the team, I was going to ride with that. Big Ben's hurting this team now. Big Ben's not allowing the other pieces around him to progress, to grow, to learn. Big Ben hurts Chase Claypool. He hurts Deontay Johnson. He hurts Najee Harris. He hurts the Pittsburgh Steelers offense as a whole. And if you don't have something better in Mason Rudolph, if you don't have something better in Dwayne Haskins, then it's your fault, Pittsburgh Steelers. That's your fault for starting this season with the quarterback room looking the way it is. But for what it is right now, Big Ben can't take you to a Super Bowl. Big Ben can't help this team be better. Big Ben can no longer help the people around him grow. It's time for Big Ben to take a seat.
I know that's not easy for you to say because I know your personal feelings on it. And again, it is their arch rivals, the Ravens, who can sort of end it for them coming up here. You made an interesting point, Nick, just to take a bigger picture look at the Steelers for a moment. You made a good point in our meeting this morning because there's so much talk there about the culture, about what that locker room has been, what that franchise has been, what that team has been. And you made an interesting point because you know that personally from the Patriots.
Yeah, look, if you haven't been there to win a Super Bowl, you weren't part of that culture previously, that's not going to help you moving forward. The culture is what's in that locker room right now. You only have Big Ben who's been there in the past. RC's not walking through the door to play safety for you. So when you think about culture, it's up to the guys in that locker room to create or just to carry on the torch, so to speak, of the previous culture and how it was created. And just the guys in the past, I was in a place in New England, there was a 10-year hiatus before we won another Super Bowl.
Right.
So the pressure was on us to create another chapter of the culture that was already previously there.
But one of the points you made earlier is sometimes young guys will walk in there and they'll think they're already a part of it.
Yeah, well, you walk in, especially now, I feel like you get drafted higher, first, second round pick. You come into a situation, you're like, oh yeah, I'm part of this. I'm here. I'm selling T-shirts with my face on it, with the helmet on. It doesn't, you have to go out there and you have to win. You have to create that new culture with your name that represents what was done in the past. If you can't do that, you don't have anything.
Right.
You have nothing. And you can't represent the Steelers or the Patriots if you don't go out there and win.
And take care of it yourself. Now, let me throw something completely unexpected into the conversation. Sacho, the Steelers could make all of this sound kind of ridiculous if they win this weekend. Do you see any? Give me, what are your thoughts on the possibilities of the Steelers beating their arch rival Ravens this weekend and completely changing the narrative?
Number one, I don't think the Steelers have a chance to beat the Ravens this weekend. That's first, just based off the way they've been playing all season, offensively, defensively, even depleted. But also, number two, even if they find a way to win, the narrative is still there. Big Ben hasn't played well. Defensively, they're depleted. Cam Hayward is doing his best. TJ Watt's playing on one leg. And so, even if they find a way to beat the Ravens in a close game, you still got the Chiefs coming up. You still got to go and play the Browns, right? You still got other games you need to win, games that you haven't been winning this season. And so I don't think the narrative changes one bit this weekend.
All right, we will see. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.